What's up, people? We're back for part two. So, yeah, if I put it in the last one, I was fishing for words right in the last one. I was gonna say the analogy of why is it that when um, black men kind of stab good women in the back, and I used an analogy or metaphorically speaking. Those are the two words that I was looking for. That the analogy of, a black woman helping you up off the road because you fell down with your shopping, and when she's helping you across the road, you gently kind of sneaking your hand in their pocket. Analogy. I wasn't saying us as black men are thieves. Don't be silly. And listen, even if that was the case, because there's probably going to be some ignorant whatever out there believing it. Even if that was the case, I think I explained in my naivety video that we're if black people ever, if that such analogy was true, then we're thieves on a really small scale, on an ant scale, because the biggest thieves are thieves like companies like British Telecom, Sky. You know when I had issues with Sky and BT, and it was over say 30-50 pounds, and there was no way of me contacting them in order to get to what's the word, damn it, here we go again, round in circles again. There's no way there's no way of me contacting them in order to fight my case, in order to get my point across, or with a parking ticket. And when I've as far as I'm concerned, I've been done over by a parking ticket. There's no way of me to argue. All I could do is just strictly pay the money. Otherwise, that parking ticket goes up to £1,000 or some stupid like that. So when we talk about thieves, like, be intelligent here, people. The biggest thieves are on a grand scale. Okay, where there's nothing you can really do about it. You'll get done over by, say, your mechanic, by your doctor, but yet when someone in the supermarket steals a loaf of bread, he's a disgusting thief. So I didn't want to put that in there, but it's important because I missed out on that on the whole naivety video. But getting back, that was just an analogy that I was using. What I was saying, yes. So just to clarify, there's certain black women, which leads me back to a whole why they're suddenly saying all of these black men cheat, is because you haven't gone for the right black man. Because if you're going for a black man that's strictly lying to you, that's not telling you the truth, and I guarantee you these British dull, weak, feeble black guys are probably telling you the truth. They're probably putting you in your place. But what it is, you want to live in this whole fake fantasy world. And I've come across women that have said to me, when I've said to them, why did you go for that guy? Like, why? What was? They said to me, oh, but he was, he was so handsome and he was so strong, and I said, but you must know that he's cheating or he's lying. And they said, you know what? And it took a lot to force it out of them, but in the end they told me, they said, listen, I know. So I said, I know he's most likely cheating, I know, but you know what? I don't want the truth. I just want to feel good. I just want to feel good for that moment. I don't care. As long as, and then all of a sudden it gets into that speech. As long as he's not doing it to me, as long as I don't see it. So then don't complain about men are cheating then, because what you're saying is you were given the option of those men, but you found those men to be boring, like I said in my MGTOW video. But if the women are watching this video and they have made it this far, let's get into what a good man is. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go with the reverse opposite of, like, I know certain traits in myself and in friends that I don't like as men. Okay, now there are going to be certain British black men watching this and saying, wait a minute here, Luke, but women have these traits too. They do have these traits too. But here's the thing, that from my point of view, as men, we have to be leaders. You know what I mean? I've always said to my previous partners that I don't mind, and I think I said this in one of my videos, that I don't mind sharing responsibility with women, because I had a conversation with a woman about, before I forget and go off topic, before I forget and go off topic here, guys, because I've done this before. I've blabbered on so much and then I forgot why I came this way. Right, so why we have to be leaders, right? So I was having a conversation with a woman, and I said to her, I don't mind, say we had a child or whatever, and this is going to sound crazy, but I don't mind babysitting. I said, listen, if I play a better role as a father, like babysitting my child, and we had two jobs, we're about to have a child, my job, I'm earning say 20 grand a year, or say I'm earning 30 grand a year, okay, but for some strange reason my missus is able to bag a job bag some sort of promotion where she's earning 80 grand a year. Okay, I'm earning 30 grand a year. She's able, for some luck comes to her way, where she most likely, again, because she's a black female, okay, subservient, not willing to argue and, you know, fight back and all that kind of stuff. It's not seen as aggressive like most black men are. She's able to earn, we say 70 grand a month. So I said, okay, if that's a 70 grand a year, I don't mind saying to that woman, look, I'll stay home and look after the child, and you go out and blah blah blah. The woman was like, oh my gosh, how can you say that, you know, but you're supposed to be a man, you're supposed to be the one that's providing and this and that. I said, yeah, true, I am supposed to be the one that's providing. I 100% agree with you. But we're not living in the Stone Ages anymore. We're not living in the 1940s and 30s where women weren't able to work. We're not living in those. We're not living in that era anymore. I said, not to mention that if you look at the whole hierarchy, the food chain, black men at the very bottom of it. It goes white man at the top, and it goes down through the colours and all of that kind of stuff. I'm not going to go into which colours fall where and which countries, blah blah blah, but I'll say that black man is at the bottom. So if we know that it's basically set up in order for black people to fail, then why not? Why can't I stay at home and look after the child and you earn the 70 grand? I said, where the problem comes in is that while that black woman's working at work, there'll be certain maybe coons in the job, or there'll be certain white men or even white women speaking to her and saying, so who's at home? You know, you just had a child, didn't you? So how come you're working? And when she turns around and she says, oh, you know, my husband's doing it, they'll then start feeding all of this nonsense into her head. And then she starts coming home and she's busting through the door like this. What have you cooked today? What have you been doing the whole day? How is Kanisha? What have you been doing? Yeah? Okay. There's this kind of attitude, and the house could be spotlessly clean, but there's this kind of attitude because she's allowed her friends to get inside of her head and kind of ruin it. You know what I mean? She again, like I said, black women are living in this bubble, this whole matrix thing. They're on the blue pill. They haven't taken the red pill yet and woken up. They get suddenly pushed back into that blue pill matrix way of thinking, and before you know it, they're trying to degrade the black man. They don't realize that the system is literally trying to hold a black person down. And I have to say it, because if I didn't, I'd be a coon and a sellout. And if there's any like Caucasian or white friends that I have and they're watching this video, you should know, because we've been into pubs, we've been into clubs. Even you at your job, at certain jobs that some people that they've been in, sometimes they've seen it. Okay, this is one example I forgot to mention as well in my what was it called? I did a video on education out, right? I forgot to mention this. I was working in a job one time, and I know I've gone off track here, guys, and I might need to do a part 3, but these things are important so we understand the whole thing here. We understand it. This is why I go into detail in these videos, so that you clearly understand it. Okay, I was in a job one time working, and it was literally, I think it was my first or second job after BT. It might have been before BT actually, so BT might have been my second job. And I was working in a pub, and I was on something stupid, like £3.30 an hour. Literally, that's how much I was on. And I was working there for a considerable amount of time. But what would happen is, and it was, to be honest with you, it was a racist pub. I don't even know why she hired me in the first place. The only thing I can assume, looking back, is that I do remember working there, and I do remember, and this is the most amazing thing, guys, this is the most amazing thing, there was a school across the road called the Brit School, right? It was in the Brit School, I'm not going to say where it is, okay? And I remember this posh girl coming in one time when I was behind the bar, and I remember going, oh hello, can I have a beer? And she goes, oh hello, what kind of beers do you sell here? And I remember saying to her, yeah, we do Fosters, we do blah blah. She goes, oh, we do Fosters? So now this girl is trying to take the piss out of me. But when I'm hearing her talk, she's posh. So it's like, I'm thinking to myself, how is a posh girl going to come in here and take the piss out of me when you're posh? It does. So you're saying I sound like you, is that what you're saying? So when you ask me why did she hire me as a black man, in a pub that appeared to be racist at the time, most likely because she thought I was maybe some sort of a coon or something like that, or an Uncle Tom. But fair enough, you know, a brother needs a job, right? That's how it was. Anyway, when I'm in the job, £3.20 an hour. A lot of the times they're saying to the staff, and I'm the only black person there, why don't you stay after work and have these little kind of drink ups, these lock-ins. Now, for £3.30 an hour, after I finish my 5 hours or 6 hours or 8 hours, I don't want to hang around. Like, hang around for what? So I'm declining. I think I passed on that one, guys. You sure? You sure you don't want to stick around for the lock-in or party? No, guys, thank you. I appreciate it. I decline on that one. Another week goes by. Oh, we're having a party, blah blah. You fancy coming? No, guys, I think I'll pass on that one. To be honest with you, I had a long day and all of that. Oh, why did you never stay with us and all of that? Guys, to be honest with you, I'm cool. I'm fine. I'm fine. Third week goes by. And I think I actually went to the third one. I think I did actually end up going to one of them. I know I ended up going to one of them anyway, one of these parties or whatever. I didn't really want to be there. We played board games, had a couple of beers, whatever, on the second floor of the pub, right? Anyway, cut a long story short, on the fourth week now, they have this kind of, because it was close to this kind of football ground, a lot of the football fans flock to the pub and it gets packed. And one day, there was this new guy that started there, a white guy, Cockney guy, and I'm running around serving people. It's packed, and there's 3 tills in this pub, and we're all using the same tills, the same 3 tills, and he runs up to me after about 2 hours of work and he says, oh mate, oh yeah, what's your name, mate? I said, my name's Lou. I said, well, okay. He goes, alright then, mate, I just started today. I said, okay, you just started, yeah? He goes, yeah. So how much money are you on, mate? I said, well, I'm on £3.30 an hour. And he goes, sorry mate, how much money you on? I said, oh, £3.30 an hour. He goes, no mate, no. He goes, I ain't on no £3.30 an hour. I said, well, that's how much I'm on. He goes, no mate, I'm not on no £3.30 an hour, mate, yeah? And this goes back to my previous video about, and he's right. Let's be honest about it. He's Caucasian and white. The last thing he needs to be is on £3.30 an hour. You know what I mean? I was laughing with one of my sister yesterday, and I said to her, there is this comedian on YouTube, and he says that any white person that doesn't take advantage of their whiteness needs to sell that stuff on YouTube, because sell that stuff on eBay, because there's a whole line of brothers that are willing to do something with it. So I'm trying to say, if you don't want to sell that white supremacy that you have, there's a whole line of brothers that are willing to snap that up and do something with it. You know what I mean? That's the real world. That's the real world that black women need to come out of that blue pill mentality and take the red pill. That's the real world. Okay? This guy was not happy with it. Okay? 4 days later, I go back to work in the pub now because the whole football thing's done. It's only certain days, and he's not there, and it's just the rest of us. And my manager comes up to me and she says to me, by the way, look, do you have a day when you work, did you make any mistakes like that? And I was like, occasionally I might have made like a 50p mistake or pound mistake. And I said to her, I don't know what, I don't know. I don't remember making any mistakes. I said, what was it, £1, £2? Let me know, £2. She turned around, she says to me, no, it wasn't £2 or £3. I said, okay, I don't know, what money we're talking about here. Okay, I was thinking like maybe like £300. Sorry? £300? 300? How does someone make a £300 mistake? How do you make £300 of mistakes? Oh, okay, that's okay, that's okay. From now on, no. Remember when I said to you about the nice guy versus being nice versus being a sellout, and about the woman that was smiling, but behind the smile was something really sinister, That's okay though, but from now on, what's going to happen is there's 3 tills, but I just want you to use this 1 till if you could for me, Luke. I said, 1 till. I was like, so I said to her, I said, even though the £300 thing's in my mind as she's talking, I'm thinking, 300, how does someone make £300 worth of mistakes? But I said, okay, fair enough. Then after she walks away, that same day when I'm doing my shift, and now like a 4 hour shift turns into 12 hours, because you know, when you feel uncomfortable in a job, guys, yeah, when you feel unwanted and unappreciated, 1 hour in a job becomes 10 hours. It just gets drawn out. So I was walking around and I was asking the rest of the staff there, do you guys have to use the same till as well? No, we can use all three of the tills if we want to. Ask another person, do you have to use the same till? No, I don't. Came back there on a different shift and there's someone else there that wasn't there the previous time. Do you have to use the same shit till? No, I don't. So there's just me, one person, while the other three Caucasian people, and it's got nothing to do with them, it's not their fault, are using the other tills. So if they were the thief, I'm still getting done with it. They can simply go to the till that I'm using and rob. I said no. So to cut a long story short, I resigned. I gave my resignation. I rang them up and I said, look, I tell you what, I'm not gonna stand for this. I'm sorry. I said I'm gonna do one more week here, and that's it. I'm done. And then I went for my shift the very next day, and she said to me, "Oh, this is your last day, Luke." I said, "My last day? What do you mean?" She goes, "Oh, I heard that you quit." I said, "Quit?" I said, "No, I was going to quit next week." She goes, "Well, that's what the boss said, that this is your last day." I said, "You know what? I'm done. I don't even care. I don't even care." Okay. But anyway, guys, I hope black women understand how the whole kind of system of things like you work. But I will get back into sorry, because I know I totally went off track here, and I'll go back into why black men have to be leaders and how it relates to the whole child thing. You know, like how it relates to me seeing my partner as an equal. Okay, I'll see you around for part 3. Thank you for watching, guys.